One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done any...
Wake up! Barbados, get up! Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated?
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday, the 1st of July, 2026. I'm Pearson Boyne. Thank you so much for waking up to keep us company. If you're joining us on our streams, good having you there as well. I encourage you, as I do every day, to join the streams and share the streams. Share the love. As you comment among yourselves, comment on what we're doing as well. We love to see your engagement, so I continue to encourage you to engage. And if you know of something to be told by us or a story that has to be told by us, then you tell us about it. It is quite simple. You do so by email. The The email address is right there. It is morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and we thank you for sharing your thoughts, your ideas with us indeed. There's a lot to get to today, including the fact that this weekend we are marking International Cooperatives Day. And so what's on the plan? Are cooperatives functioning in Barbados, and in what ways can we help them to function even more effectively? We'll look at that in just a little while. Noy Jemmet, remember the young girl who is in Colombia receiving treatment for acute leukemia? Well, we have an update on her, and so her godmother and her mother will sit with us. We want to hear more about how Noy is doing and what is the need that still has to be met, and so how you can be a part of it. We'll share that with you as well today. Our look at road safety continues in just a little while. We're taking a look at just lighting and decals on the roads. What's illegal, what's not legal, and just what's happening really. Why and how should we go about making ourselves legal as it relates to those two things? There are many HR issues in the Caribbean workforce, and so we want to know what are the most pressing among those issues and what are some of the solutions. We'll talk about that when we talk HR with Hermab today. We'll also today be hearing about the Pearly app. Yep, it has been launched, but what has it been launched to do and how does it work? What are some of the guardrails? Why should you be comfortable and confident using the Pearly app? We'll talk to them about that as well. There's a very special event at Q in the community tomorrow. It's very, very special tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and so we'll share with you why it's so special and why you really should show up in great numbers to be a part of the special edition of Q in the community tomorrow. And stopping over for crop over today will be the man, Hyper Sounds. He has quite a story to tell. So I'll take a break right here and we get started with Morning Barbados right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 past the hour now. Let's continue our look at road safety with the members of the Barbados Police Service. It's so important that you pay attention because there are things that unwittingly, sometimes we do on our roads that we're not even aware we're doing wrong. And so when the good big hand of the law stops us, then we ought to comply. And every time it stops us, we ought to comply indeed. And so today we want to look at a very serious subject because many of us are tempted to do exactly what we're looking at right now and why we shouldn't. We're met this morning, of course, by our good friend, the communications man at the Barbados Police Service, Inspector Ryan Brathwaite. Inspector, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Good to have you as always. Sergeant Wendell Foster is with us as well. Sergeant, good morning to you as well.
Very pleasant good morning to you as well, sir.
I will start with you because you know many of us have been complaining about these lights on the roads.
Yes.
And so what's the law as it relates to the lights on the road?
Well, vehicles are naturally manufactured with the lights. You know, they have 2 white lights to the front, 2 red lights to the rear, and those are okay. Where things get a little fuzzy is when persons want to modify their vehicles. Appreciate that persons would want to maybe have a brighter light, and sometimes for good reason. Maybe their eyes aren't so well anymore. They want to have a brighter beam. But however, our regulations at Regulation 20, Sub-Regulation 2, Clauses A and B of the road traffic regulations from 1984. See how old that law is. They do state that you're not allowed to affix any other lights onto your vehicles, especially at the front or the rear, unless you first seek permission in writing from the licensing authority.
Okay, so my little yellow lights are too dull. I want to have a brighter beam. Can I change that bulb? Or do I have to go to the licensing authority for authorization to change that bulb?
Yes, you must get authorization. You must get authorization.
You see, I ask that because it's what we do.
Well, if you're changing the color scheme, you know, people put in these bulbs that then illuminates blue and a little brighter, then you ought not to do that. If you're going to change your bulb can blow, but you should replace light for light.
That's right.
Light for light. So don't go and get all these fancy bulbs that, and illuminating and you know, affecting other drivers as well. So it's very important. The law speaks to having 2 white lights to the front of your vehicle. We understand that the more modern vehicles will be manufactured with a different type of bulb.
That's right.
So there's no control because that's a manufacturer's spec. So that remains in place. But for those older model vehicles who want to, you know, people change and add these fancy bulbs, and the rays from the bulb, the beam, really affects the other drivers. So you're not expected to do that. That's illegal. You're not expected to add additional lights onto your vehicle.
Right.
So you can't say, well, I have 2 lights and these are not working for me. I need another 2 lights added on, and you put on 2 additional lights. If you're going to do that, then again, you must seek permission. So that is illegal. You will be reported. You can be reported. Don't let me use the word will. You can be reported for that. It's an offense. And Sergeant Foster keeps the roads busy with those types of things. I'm sure that he's made many cases like that. So we want to appeal to Barbadians. If you're going to add lights to your vehicle, if you're going to change and modify the whole light setup, apply to the chief licensing officer for permission to do that.
In other words, while it's your personality, there's no space for that on the road. You still have to comply.
And you must think of the other drivers using the road. It's not all about you. Think about the other drivers. You know, if we appreciate the fact that some roads might be darker than some, you need additional light. What I'm going to say to you is to take your time, slow down. Don't drive at those speeds that would not allow you to be able to see the roadway. If you adjust your driving, I'm sure that you would be able to see the roadway.
Absolutely. Drive defensively. And so that's important. No lights. Don't get fanciful with your lights at all. Don't get cutesy with it either. And remember, always you have to comply with the law, because anytime you're making modifications, you have to get authorization from the Barbados Licensing Authority. So if it is your regular beam bulbs and the kinds of lights that you use, like for like. If you decide I don't like what I have at the moment, I want to upgrade to the LED because it's so bright and everybody's going in that direction, get authorization. Get authorization from the Barbados Licensing Authority. That's one element. But being cute and personal with our vehicles, we add all sorts of other things. You know, pretty girl. We add some baby on board. We put all sorts of stickers and stuff on the vehicle. Is that illegal?
Definitely illegal. Again, that's the exact same regulation, Regulation 20, and it directly speaks to the adding of letters or figures onto your car. So you did mention baby on board. That is one that many persons put on their vehicle with the mindset that, you know, I'm giving a warning to other persons behind me. However, that warning can also be a distraction. If you realize recently, the persons have been getting a little bit more creative with their baby on board stickers. You're seeing names added to those stickers, and I saw one saying huge financial burden on board. You know, and then some of the writings are so small, and again you use the word fanciful. You try to get closer to see what is written on the rear of the vehicle, and then before you know it, you're in a rear end collision.
Of course. Exactly. It's a distraction, really. It's another distraction on the road, an unwanted distraction. You're trying to read. Some people are even advertising on their vehicles, on their private vehicles, people advertising.
Yes.
So obviously you're trying to read, what is this person selling? What do they have there? You're looking and looking, and then you're distracted. You're not focused on what's happening around you. A collision. Again, you want to do these things, then you must apply to the Chief Licensing Officer for permission to affix whatever sticker, whatever you're doing. You see it with business places. You see that some business places have it on their vehicles. And you know, you would get it more in the commercial realm with the commercial vehicles. But don't take it upon yourself. You know, people see these things as little things. Oh, they're so petty. But these things do cause accidents, do cause injury, do cause lives. So it's not as petty as you think. You must open your eyes to the entire picture and look at what can happen as a result of your actions. You might not see it directly, but believe me, these things do cause accidents, they do cause injury, they do cause lives, because people are there driving, and because that they're distracted by something else that's happening ahead of them. An accident occurs.
I was just told that there's some trucks on the roads that have, what, eyes, you told me?
Yes.
You're serious? Well, I haven't yet seen one of those, thank Jesus. So, obviously, that's illegal.
Definitely illegal. That would be akin to additional lights to the front of your vehicle. And the thing is, they're not even steady. The eyes are moving left, right, open, closed, and they're very colorful. A huge distraction. A huge distraction to other motorists. And then, of course, they're made with LEDs. So they're very, very bright coming on. You come down the road and you're seeing this thing. Before you notice it's a vehicle, you're seeing those eyes coming at you.
Okay.
You know,
I'm on the roads at the right time, I think, because I haven't yet seen them, but thank you, Lord, for that.
Yes.
The other thing that's distracting to me is that you're behind the vehicle and hanging underneath is some animal is dragging. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Have you guys seen those?
Yeah,
and you're wondering, you're driving, you're wondering, what is that? Why are they doing that? Who's it that they're dragging?
Well, there's a regulation at 19 that speaks to the modification of vehicles altogether, and any modification you want to make to your vehicle, you must seek permission in writing from the licensing authority. And I must say that the chief has been very good since she's taken over. She's been very good at even assisting persons with some small businesses to get some writing added just to advertise their business. She has been very good with that. But when persons try to do it outside, you know, and then they have a very big decal, it can be very distracting, you know. But we want to keep things streamlined. We want to keep things streamlined. So just go and apply, and she's always willing to accommodate. I must say that for a very busy woman, she does have quite an open door policy. So she's been very good in
and I like to say to people, you want to do things different, but you're not sure. Don't take it upon yourself to just go and do those things that are different. Seek help from those who knows best. So you want to do something to your vehicle, you're not sure, don't just jump in and do it. Seek clarity from the licensing officer, from the office of the chief licensing officer. Contact the police traffic department. Ask a question, can I do this, can I do that? And I'm sure people will direct you. No, you can't, and this is where it says that you can't. You can see the law at this, you can see the law. Don't take it upon yourself to make these brave steps. They're expensive. You're modifying your vehicle, it's expensive. Don't make these brave steps and then you're catching at the back end. Seek clarity first. We know things will happen. We don't always get it right, but always seek clarity first.
That's a wonderful overarching comment. I get it. You're driving again behind the vehicle. Teddy bears lined off at the rear screen. You know, you see that's one. Or you'll see while you're looking into someone else's vehicle ahead of you, they have these little screens just near their review mirror, and they're looking at other things, whether it's watching TV or a video or playing a music video and so forth. Again, these are distractions.
That's right. That's right.
And so, again, these are things we should not do. And we know that. And we just hope not to be caught.
Yes.
But the operation now by the police service says you guys are on the road. You're checking
we're
these
on the
things.
road. We're on the road. We are conducting our operations, and we want to remind Barbadians this is crop over time. So we'll have more vehicles on the road late at night or early morning. I want to appeal to all walkers when you're there at night, you're there early morning. Please wear your fluorescent clothing.
That's right.
To drivers, you're coming home from your parties. Take your time and drive. Drive smart and arrive safely. You need to take your time. Remember that other persons are using the roadway. If you're going to drink, please don't drive. If you're going to use substances, whether prescribed or not, please don't drive. And let's have a safe crop over. Let our roadways be safe.
Well said. Inspector Ryan Brathwaite, the communications officer with the Barbados Police Service. With him is Sergeant Wendell Foster. Remember, you may want to, but you need to have authorization. And so you do seek first the authorization from the Barbados Licensing Authority before you even try to think about it. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We'll be coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
International Cooperatives Day is celebrated generally around the first Saturday in the month of July. And this year, Barbados is celebrating a little differently. We're having it on a different date. But nonetheless, it is critical that we take some time to look at the work of cooperatives, the value of cooperatives, and perhaps get some insight into what to expect. So joining us this morning to take a look at this is from the Cooperative Societies, Barbados Cooperative Societies, is Jeffrey Evanson and Algernon Johnson. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barbados.
Let's define for a lot of people what a cooperative is. Jeffrey, what do you say?
Well, I would say what it isn't. It's not a credit union. And I say that because people usually get us confused.
Yes.
But cooperative is a collective of people working together, working assiduously to promote benefits for themselves.
And in Barbados, how many members fall under the cooperatives? How many different segments of organizations?
Outside of the financial co-ops, which are credit unions, the non-financial co-ops are about 26 in number. And we have probably about 30 or 40,000 members.
No, I'm glad you said that because a lot of times we can't demarcate in that way.
Yes.
There are about 26 or so other organizations that fall under the Cooperative Society.
Correct.
With a large membership.
Very large membership.
But what's critical is, to my mind, is that these organizations are critical to the fabric of how Barbados runs and works.
If I tell you stories, you'll be shocked. I love stories, so you have an hour or so.
When I'm going to stop you, I'll stop.
Co-ops is nothing new. We all know about Susu and meet and turn. This is an extension of that thought pattern. A lot of us went to school and get fancy church clothes based on the meet and turn thing.
Yes.
But it morphed into friendly societies. It morphed into the civic society. The civic society actually had a big store in Bridgetown. And they actually had about 6,000 members. Okay? So when the legalities stepped in, the whole aspect of cooperatives was made legal, and the formation changed its name to the Cooperatives Society.
So that's how you've been formed?
Yes.
But you're formed to continue delivering service.
Delivering the same thing.
At not just at affordable rates, but in a way that makes it easier for the masses to do. There was a time when one thought in Barbados that in order to access certain services and certain credit, one had to be correct. Your figures sell it for me. But the cooperative society was formed to break that down and make business accessible.
Not only business, but cooperative societies were able to help a lot of small people with things like funeral grants and paying school fees, because I grew up very poor. So I grew up in the years when there was not a lot of money knocking around. So saving money in this kind of fashion gave you an opportunity to go to a business entity, co-op, and say, listen, I need maybe $3,000-4,000 to repair the side of my house. No, the banks wouldn't take you on. The banks want to see certain stuff. But the co-ops tend, because we're working together and it's our money, they tend to be a little bit more lenient with you. And that's how a lot of people got through in the early days in Barbados and still getting through.
I was just going to come to that. So, Algernon, do you think that the today Barbadian, the younger Barbadian, who may have lived the times that my good friend here would have lived, do you think we understand what the work of the cooperatives is?
No, we need to educate the younger people, show them the success stories, and stop telling them the negative things about organizations, right? And we got to go to them, because they're not going to come to us. So you know, got to go on social media and advertise the co-ops and show them the value of being involved with a co-op. A co-op is working with people, inclusion, solidarity, economic security. You understand? Because when you get involved in a co-op, it can help you, as you say, get a home, get a car. If you're a farmer, because we have different types of co-ops. You have agriculture co-ops, energy co-ops, housing co-ops, marketing, services co-ops. You understand? We have a number of different co-ops in this Barbados that resonate right across the economic and the GDP of this country, right? So we need to show the young people that these are the things that put Barbados in place it is right now. We need to do that and show them the real meaning of being involved and how it can get them to the next level, whether it's education or getting a house or getting a car or getting a business developed, because every member in a co-op is the owner. If you got $10 and they got $5, you have the same rates. It's not a business where somebody got I think the directors that control the show and the co-op, everybody has the same say when it comes to the co-op, because everybody's a shareholder in the co-op.
And that's important to note, because we push the whole concept of entrepreneurship. And even with the concept of entrepreneurship, it is best to work together.
Absolutely.
You can, there's so much more you can do when you work together. You said absolutely to me, Jeffrey. So what do you see for those who have designed their own space and figure, you know what, I'll operate on my own, but you know my name, and that's sufficient. Let's talk about why it's important to be a part of a cooperative.
Well, let me tell you a story. I said I like stories. And this is one of the stories that brought passion to my involvement with the co-op. Many, many years ago, back in the late 1800s, the Bajans went to Panama to help build the canal.
Yes.
You remember that experience?
Yes, I do.
And after the canal was finished, there were no second-class citizens, almost persona non grata. They didn't want us around. But some of these people ended up being second-generation Bajans, not even knowing their home country. So what they realized was, you know, in Bajan parlance, we got bread for ourselves.
Yes.
So they started this co-op, the Panamanian Society Cooperative. They started to pool their money together. After a little while, they had enough money, they started to invest in real estate in Panama. But then the fellas realized, you know, if we are going to be repatriated at some point in time, we better go back home with something. So they collected even more money through fundraising activities, took out some of the capital that they had invested, and they bought 5 plantations in the north of Barbados. $252,000 US came back to Barbados in 1920 something. That was a humongous amount of money back in those days. I mean, somebody could Google and see what it's worth in today's money. But that was a tremendous fillip to the economy, one. And secondly, it gave ownership to people who would never have had an access to the capital or the ownership. Now, a lot of things happened after that, but I'll tell you this much. When they divested back in the 50s or the mid-50s or something, a plantation at Trent's that they had bought for like $29,000 sold for $800,000. I'm saying that because that's the benefit of pooling resources and working together. You would never be able to achieve that magnitude of ownership and growth on your own, unless you already had money.
True. But so there are people watching who are saying, but okay, I get it. I would love to be a part of it. How do I become a part of the cooperative society?
There are all sorts of co-ops on the street.
I understand you, but we don't know you by name. We can't say, okay, it is TV Cooperative, this one over here is Door Cooperative, and see you.
We have the Barbados Transport Co-op.
Okay.
Okay, correct me if I miss any. Very successful. We got the Port Taxis Co-op, very successful. We got Emerging Brands Co-op, which is a branding co-op, working with manufacturers, very successful. We have
the pig farmers, St. George farmers, right? You know what I mean? You got a number of things of cooperatives that are there, and you can see them on our website. You will see it, you know what I mean? Because the association has all the members. Called the Barbados Co-op Business Association Limited is the secondary body of all the cooperatives, right? You know what I mean? And that was formed to do most of the work. Instead of having the co-ops individually, we formed that day in 2014 on the 20th day of May, right? In order to look after the interests of the organization. And we joined the ICA, which is the International Co-op Alliance. We are a member of that. So we go to conferences during the year, right? We have a big conference kind of in September, between the 13th of September to the 18th, a 1-week seminar with the International Co-op Alliance, along with the Co-op America. It's going to be in Panama, right?
I'm so glad you guys took the time to identify the different cooperative societies because we overlook them.
Yeah,
I know.
And so I thank you for doing so.
Because we even have one for the bees, and they got the energy co-op. That is who's going to take the sugar industry.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know we have one for the fisheries. You understand? For the fisheries.
So we can invest so we can be a part of this investment.
And if I may interrupt you, we just rolled out a brand new co-op. We're just about 2 years old, which is a business development co-op. And our focus is on supporting and promoting the growth of small and micro businesses.
Wonderful. I know we'll get a chance later on when you have the big celebration on the greens, as always, to come and see who those cooperatives are and to access your services and so forth, and to join as well. Can you briefly give me when we can expect that to be?
July 18th.
The 18th.
We start around 10 o'clock. At the same time, we have inside the Grand Salle of the Central Bank, we're going to have an investment forum which will discuss the important issues around investing in and investment for cooperatives.
On the 18th of June, 10 o'clock in the morning.
No, July.
Yes. First of all, it's all right. 18th, no, I got confused. On the 18th of July, on the grounds of the Greens, just outside of the Central Bank, and in the Grand Salle, running almost concurrently is an investment forum. So you can come here and know more about how you can invest in cooperatives and use cooperatives as one of your avenues to self-advancement, to earn some money at the same time. But you want to give your whole soul into your support of the cooperatives, and I encourage you to do so as soon as possible. The 18th of July, look out for that opportunity indeed. Gentlemen, I want to thank you. There's a lot of education you shared with us today. And
we have a lot more.
That man is Jeffrey Evans here. And with him is Algernon Johnson. He's a gentleman from the Barbados Cooperative Society. Indeed, gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scald, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 20 minutes now to go to the 7 o'clock hour, and I'm sure you recall, because the story has been everywhere. We shared a story with you here on Mornin Barbados before as well, of a beautiful little girl, what a lovely smile, who had a passion to be an engineer, Noy Jemmett. Noy Jemmett, earlier this year, she found herself battling acute leukemia, and you stepped in Barbados and you helped her make that trip across to Colombia. But how is she doing? We're joined this morning by her mother, Kathy Ann Allman, and with her her godmother, who is Shimona O'Neill. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I'll start with you, Kathy Ann. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thanks for having us. I am doing pretty good. Noy is, I guess the latest update would be she is eating, she has regained some weight, she has resumed her art and drawing, and she's good. She's in good spirits. She's always been in good spirits. and she's truly amazing. So once she is good, I am great.
That's great news. I'm
Yes.
telling you, you've just made me feel so warm inside to know that we've been able to help on this journey, to be able to bring Noy back to us in the ways that you can. But you have to take care of yourself. That's why I asked you first, how are you doing?
Okay. I'm pretty good. I'm honestly, once she is fine, I am pretty good. I have been, I haven't felt much, to be honest. And I guess for people looking in, it's always like, I can't imagine what you're going through. But for me, it was just a matter of doing. That's what I felt, the need to do.
You have to do.
If I ran out of options, because I'm a very solutions-oriented person, so if I ever felt like I couldn't fix anything, then I would feel away. But generally speaking, I've been fine. Coming back home has been hard. It's been harder than
being there.
Yeah.
Because you've left her there. And you would
She's in great hands with her dad.
I understand that, but typical is that you would want to be there, to be by her side every step of the way. What is she saying to you now?
She's a typical teenager. She's just like, hi, mommy, how are you? She misses me. She wants me to come back. But I am here taking care of my affairs because we just left so quickly. Like, I went back home and the clothes she had on for school were still there. So, yeah, just walking the streets of Barbados and just people coming up to me, and obviously I just needed to come here to thank people again, like from the bottom of my heart. It's just been tremendous, and it's true, everybody knows, and they constantly tell me they're praying for her, praying for us, and I so appreciate that more than anything else.
Does Noy still have her dream?
She does. I mean, she is in Colombia for treatment. That's how we see it. We haven't claimed any cancer or any leukemia. Like, you're here for treatment, and we're gonna get through this treatment, and we talk about what's gonna happen afterward. Like, this is, still universities on the. Obviously, that's something she wants to do. So we still discuss universities, and it's life.
It's life.
When this first happened, I told her, the rain falls on the just and the unjust. That might be a difficult thing to hear, but it happens. So many things happen to other people, and we just can't live and believe that we will not find something unfortunate to befall us. And and that's where you build resilience. And
What are the doctors saying to you?
the doctors are amazing. I am very happy. They feel we're working towards remission. She didn't reach remission the end of the first month, which would have been the ideal situation. So we were working towards remission at the end of the second treatment, which will be the middle of July. They're very positive because she's very positive. And they constantly tell us, we find that the patients that believe that they will get to remission and do well. So continue to stay positive. So her doctor is always checking in. Oh, hey, how are you today? It's Spanish.
Yes.
So, yes. So, how are you? And she's like, I'm fine. No is the same way all the time. But there was a period when she was getting a bit sad because she had been in hospital consistently from Barbados into Colombia, and she hadn't been outside, hadn't seen people. It was the same hospital food, and there was not much that was changing that situation. And her doctor finished his rounds. He's the head of oncology, and he came back for her, organized a wheelchair, and I thought a nurse was going to take her around. He was going to give her a tour of the hospital, but he did it himself, and it was just the sweetest thing in the world. Introduced her to everybody. We went down to the international office. She met all the people that would have contributed to us moving there and handling us, and it was just beautiful.
But the treatment continues and the costs continue as well. I know, Shimona, the last time you were with us, you mentioned a figure that astounded all of us, that per month.
Yeah.
And so the drive continues because we love Noi. We haven't met Noi in person, but Noi's story touches all of us because there, but for the grace of God, go I or ours.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit now about those costs that are still spiraling that we need to cover.
Yeah. So when I came last, I spoke about our target, and again, it's still a moving target because noise, prognosis, and different things can change at any point in time. So we have, through the donations and funding exercises, we have reached the 400K target that we had set back then when we weren't sure about, what's going to happen next. We are still in a place where we're not 100% sure what's going to happen next. We just have a better idea now, right? So like I said, we met the target from the donations recently, actually, and the first month ended up being, because obviously the figure of the expense would have been a quotation, so now that we've spent, that money, it would have been around 100,000 US still, so it still was a lot of money, right? And 400K minus 100K, you can imagine, do the math, right? So that plus, like Kathy, I guess, can elaborate on this. There's, some additional information coming out of her testing and stuff, and there's going to be treatment that we have to think about coming soon that might spike our expense. So that being said, we have to, again, not get weary with continuing to ask people to donate and our funding exercises. So we've had a few people step forward and actually have events that they donate towards NOI. And some of the events to mention would be Macharan Club. They had a donation event run, and we attended. And then there's what was the second one? Raw Fitness. Raw Fitness. Yeah, Raw Fitness had spin class, and you came and donated during that class.
There's still a box there, actually.
And there's still a box, right, where they donate.
Yes.
And then we have an upcoming event. So that's FET 120 is doing an event called In the Jungle, and that is upcoming, right? So there are those, and then there's some other events that people want to add to that. So there's a volleyball event / sports event for the youth that's supposed to be coming up, a road tennis event.
So there's a lot that we can follow on socials about, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
But you know, last time we were together, Corporate Barbados also watched, they saw, they heard, they called.
Yeah.
And they want to. And I want to appeal more to Corporate Barbados as well. Don't dilly-dally on this one, because NOI needs it. NOI needs it now. So where possible, you pull from within, pull from without as well, and give. Look at your screen, everybody. Look at your screen, and you will see the GoFundMe. You can also see the bank transfer details. We want you to use those in significant ways. Use them in a big way, because NOI, as tiny as she is, you see her mother, she's just almost a carbon copy of her mother. She wants to grow to be bigger still and to make a big impact in the world and for herself, for her family, and for us as Barbadians as well. So we're pouring in with kindness, we're pouring in with care, we're pouring in with cash. And so we want you to give as well, either to the GoFundMe or to the bank as well, because NOI is going to come back to us. I'm confident about this. And so if you look at your screen as well, you see the information relative for the Instagram page. This, if you follow on Instagram, you can see how we can all together bring NOI home, one donation at a time. And so there are a list of activities that they're going to be having. Just follow, like, and follow that page, and you will be updated as activities roll out. And it goes, it's a moving target still, everybody. It's a moving target. We can quote a figure, but it's not enough.
Just to add a bit of context to what Shimona said, so we are still working towards remission, at the end of the second month of treatment, which will be completed the middle of July. So the two options after that are going to be chemotherapy. If she has reached remission, it will be chemotherapy and immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is significantly more expensive than chemotherapy. So we are working to find out what those costs look like. If she does not reach remission, then a bone marrow transplant would be the next option. But we're definitely praying for a remission at the end of this second month.
We're praying for the mission for NOI, but of course we're still mindful that we still have to continue giving support, because even in remission she still will need some support. And so your donation, your support of this campaign is so critical, is so much invited indeed. I cannot imagine how you deal with this moment by moment, Kathy, and I really don't understand, because I cannot understand. But you're a mother, and you are built strong as a mother for your daughter. And as Whitney Houston said, you were not built to break. Neither was NOI. And I want to encourage you to stay positive.
Thank you.
You have the support of your family, your friends, Barbados. And so we too will be working with you to bring NOI home. We need NOI back. I thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shimona, as always, I thank you too.
Thank you too.
And Barbados, we're already thanking you, because we know your support will be generous, and we want to encourage you to, right as we speak right now, go online and make your donation into the account details that you see right there. It is with First Caribbean, and so, well, CIBC. You can see the bank information, account number, or you can go to GoFundMe campaign as well. Whether you're here in Barbados or abroad, wherever you are, you can give. And I want you to give generously. Corporate Barbados, this is the moment for you to stand up and stand tall for NOI Gemet. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You're welcome. We're back with more on Mornin Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Barbados, the countdown has begun. Senior Games 2026 has officially launched. Are you ready for stronger, healthier, active minds and bodies? This Thursday, the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs brings you Cube in the community at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. Come out and be part of this year's exciting games with fun for everyone. Enjoy dominoes, archery, line dancing, karaoke, plus special performances by the Landship, Mother Sally, Top Man, and much more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and let's celebrate active aging together. Senior Games 2026, Q in the community. This Thursday, Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. It's time, Barbados. Stronger, healthier, active minds and bodies. Start now.
He said, Antoine, thanks. He said this Thursday, that's like tomorrow. Here, Barbados, that's tomorrow, tomorrow. You know, we put it into those kinds of phrases, everybody thinks it's next week or something like that. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow, Thursday. And you heard the voices, you heard the chuckle, because I'm joined by Itania Wiggins, Kamal Clark, and Ian Bourne, who's a communication specialist with the ministry, right?
Yes.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Barbados.
Thank you. Every time I sit with Itania, I feel unfit.
Please don't say that. Then you make me seem fit, and that's so far from the truth. So far from the truth.
National Seniors Games are on. The Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, as we know, has always been promoting active aging and people being constantly moving, because if you seize up, you seize up, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
It's true. You got to lubricate and move around. That's part of longevity. Barbados is a super aging, not even aging, a super aging population, and the silver economy is one that we need to support. And to get more of us from my age group to transition into that super age bracket, we got to keep moving, because I want to reach one of those milestones. I want the then president or governor general come and visit me someplace. That's my aim in life.
Well, that's okay. I wish you well on that one indeed. But as typical of what happens every year, you know, you make the sports inclusive.
Yes.
And you make the sports accessible. There are many, as you're planning out this year's program, what are some of the things that might be different, or are you coming back with that will be interesting?
I totally love that you asked me that. You know, last year was our 21st. We came of age, we've matured. So the committee was always thinking about how do we now move into adulthood as the senior games. And because of that, the conversations were around how do we include more persons, not just those sports persons who are looking for some place to not retire but to move into their golden age, but to incorporate Barbados on a whole. That person that never participated in anything, even mind games. So we wanted to have a mixture or infusion, much better word, of our culture. And Q in the community is something that's now an established event where our target population will be. So we're starting tomorrow with Q, and I'm gonna let Kamal, the events guy, totally talk about that. But the infusion of something like the Senior Games and Q, we're building on our natural partnership from last year, hence the name Q Games.
Q Games, I love it indeed. That comes to you in a minute, Kamal, because Ian, the Ministry of People Empowerment, Elder Affairs, again, the mandate, which is to keep our seniors active, and because we care for our seniors as well. Let's talk a little bit about some of the concerns from the ministers you see, and some of the things that we can actually do differently and better.
Well, we want to control the preponderance, if you will, of non-communicable diseases, NCDs. The way to do that, as Tanya was talking about, is being active. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be running around, especially if your knees need WD-40. It could be something as simple as walking. You should, in other words, after a lunch or a dinner, you should go for a walk, even if it's just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it doesn't have to be high intensity. It could be just that you're walking. It's as simple as that. And also it ties into the fact that you have to be active, because Barbados is almost a super age society. I mean, we are one of 3 countries in the world with the most centenarians. I think the other 2 are Japan and Russia. And actually, a quick little humorous thing, you know, Mel Brooks turned 100 late last month. He joins Dick Van Dyke, and both of them can't play with Lego anymore, because Lego blocks is only from ages 2 to 99. Yeah,
I got you.
But seriously, no, active aging. Yes, and they're actively aging.
100 years old.
And that's why they've reached that milestone. I think that we could take a leaf from their books.
Indeed so. Yeah. And so that's why the Seniors Games. Registration is going to open very, very early?
Yes. Yeah. And we'll have it as both printed and online.
Okay, so keep monitoring the website, the socials of the
bnsg.org.
Say it again.
BN and Financy, sg.org.
Got you. So please follow, and you will see how you can be a part of everything National Seniors Games. It's usually, you know, quite an activity, and I really want to see many of us as we get older to engage still in athletics and other disciplines that will be on show, but also in contest on the National Seniors Month in September. So look out for that opportunity coming your way. But tomorrow, Kamal. Tomorrow,
yes.
Q Games are on.
Yes, we do.
So I need to come with my sweatband, you know, aging myself, and I can say that as well. My pumps and everything else. I'm prepared to contest, right?
Yes. So persons that want to know what Q Games, what tomorrow brings, for sure we have a lot of activity. You know, community activity, we need to first foster community activity, which is one of the mandates, and that social inclusion that is needed. So we go where the people are. Q is one of the best places to find seniors.
Yes.
And where seniors are actually active. They're out there moving, line dancing, simple things, dominoes, movement of the mind, you know, that community spirit, that interactive spirit. And so when we, as Tanya would have done last year, she incorporated Q. So we start this year with one of the fundamentals, foundation coming up.
Yes.
Q in the community. Let's meet the people, let's go there, let's start from there, and we build going forward, because we have a lot in store, but it starts with Q. It says, yes, come out in sweatbands, come out, prepare to do some activity, make sure that you get involved. There will be a lot. Tanya has been putting together a package that it will challenge you for those persons that want to, you know, be interactive. And you could change your shirt, you know, bring along a change of clothes. And then you could go and do your line dance. You can sing your karaoke, you know, you could play your dominoes. It's starting same time, 11
o'clock,
straight till 1 a.m. So
and this is at the Village Gymnasium, by the way, folks. At the Village Gymnasium tomorrow. And so we want you to come out in your numbers, and you know, if you want to dress in your colors as well, because we want to have a team. So I want you, as you talk among yourselves and with your friends, you say, you know what, come together, let's form a team, because we're going out there to win tomorrow. And I think that's part of the excitement that we want to see you have tomorrow as you engage in the Q Games in preparation for the senior games coming up a little later on. And I know you said, you like the idea, right?
I love it, Pearson. Love it. Because we have activities. We have like a nice obstacle course. We have archery. So if you know Robin Hood and you wanted to try archery, tomorrow is your day. We're also bringing the sports to the people. We have dominoes like Kamal's, and how can I have a Q Games without some traditional Bajan things? We're gonna have a maple wrap that if you didn't know how to do it, you could try it tomorrow. As egg and spoon, you know we're gonna do a little egg and spoon. It's about fun movement and using what's culturally relevant to us. We need to connect. I think we've always been moving. If you went down Cropova, that is movement. Why we don't think is movement? So why can't we use that? Line dancing is very much a Caribbean thing, and it's movement. So tomorrow's concept is just a fusion of the two things, the culture and the community and the sports.
Indeed. Road tennis is another. I hope you have
Yes.
Are you ready for the road tennis?
They got basketball tomorrow. They got beach volleyball. For those who didn't know, there's a beach volleyball court at the gymnasium. We start where sports is, and we brought Q where sports is. So the concept is there. The only thing that may be missing is Pearson, but we will forgive him for that.
Yes. Pearson will join us with the other activities we have going on, right, Pearson?
That's right.
Yes, and we will make sure, Barbados, to look out for Pearson in some part of the senior games, in some activity. It could be
the walking race.
You promised me that last year. The 29th of August, Pearson.
The 29th of August, I'm trying to figure where I am.
It's a Saturday. You will be someplace special. I'm not letting it out yet, but the 29th, Pearson will do his first walk with us.
Very important as well, and as you said earlier,
thank you.
Senior Games has launched during the midst of Cropova. We're talking movement. We're talking social activity. So we are using this time. So look out, Barbados, for a lot more. We're going to have this thrown to you right where you are. Come out and see. We're going to have lots of entertainment tomorrow. As Tanya said, we also got Mother Sally, Tuck Band. We're doing our conga line. You could come out and have a good time. We want to see you in your numbers represented. And let's start the thing.
Let's start the thing. I like that. Let's start the thing. Tomorrow Thursday at the Village Gymnasium for a very special Q Games in Q in the community. Remember, we start at 11 o'clock. It's easy peasy Japanese, as we say. You take the bus from gate number 1 of the Granville Williams Terminal and you make your way. Obviously, we're taking over the gymnasium car park, so you park at your leisure and your convenience, but you walk your way in, you run and jog your way in. You can be in volleyball, road tennis, egg and spoon race, every game you can consider. You can dance your life away, you laugh as you go. And that joy and merriment helps to keep the positive endorphins flowing within the body. We're aging actively, people. And so tomorrow is another opportunity for us to do so. And it's only the start, a taster into the National Seniors Games. And I really want you to follow the website and the socials of the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs to see the calendar of activities and how you can register for the one that you want to compete in, and test yourself. Prove to everybody you still can, and that you can still do it better than, and faster than, and longer than, and all of those kinds of things. Prove it to yourself. Yes. I encourage you to do so. And what's your minimum age, by the way?
We have a line with Barb, so 40.
So I can't get away?
No, I know you was risking, but we are, listen, the idea is to get the country moving. And aligning with Barb meant that people, and I was talking to Kathy, and I have a number of friends who were waiting specifically to hit that 40 mark to compete, to get the Barb card and to compete in the senior games. It's now becoming a thing of the younger generation.
Yes. And you don't have to be a member of a club.
Nothing.
You know, you don't have to be. There's Freedom Striders, there's UAC, there's you don't have to be. You can be an independent person that find out on your own free volition. I am going to come and be a part of senior games. I am going to be active.
What are you in?
Come on.
Well, I do a lot of sports. I do a number of things.
You're not answering my question.
At all.
This year, what I'm going to do, well, since I'm here this year, I will be involved.
You're not answering my question.
Still not.
Because I'm giving a broad scope. There may be more than one activity.
He's a marketer.
Live well, live long.
Yes, indeed. You're living well in mind and thought, indeed. But it's going to be great, everybody. This is really just the start of a whole series of activities that will lead us up into September, when it will all culminate, when we will celebrate the glory of our seniors. And so I want you to be there. I really want you to come tomorrow, Thursday, to get a taste of what we can expect. And then you prepare, you form your teams, you do your workouts, you get yourself ready to come compete at the National Seniors Games. And, you know, I'm sure that you guys will be at Q in the community more and more as we move around the country as well.
We are
and we're excited to partner with you on this as well. So well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. Kirsten, I have one thing to say. I will be in the event you're in.
Good.
I will be competing heavily with you.
I take your word for that. So that's the race. We have 3.
29th of August. 29th of August. We walking.
We have 3 registrants so far.
The numbers going up.
I commend you for being so bold.
Yes.
To dare to compete against me.
We get things started.
Let's get this started, everybody.
We do one for the Instagram. Oh, by the way, it's Barbados National Senior Games. The phrase for Instagram, if you want to follow us on Instagram.
Right.
The ministry itself is People BDS.
All right, People BDS or Barbados National Seniors Games on Insta, and you're good to go. Follow it. Don't miss it. Follow it. Register as soon as you possibly can. Be one of the first registrants and get ready. Get ready. Get active. Stay active. So tomorrow, we want to start being as active as we possibly can. We want to sample the games and just see where we are on our skill sets, and then we brush up as we get ready for September as well. So tomorrow, all over the car park of the Village Gymnasium, we're taking over with Q in the community and the Q Games. You got to be there. Looking forward to seeing you indeed. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Ian, as well.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
Thank you, Barbie.
Hey, look at the time. We're 11:30 after the hour. We're right back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
15 minutes now after 7 o'clock. I'm sure you have heard, you might have popped your window open, asked, anybody call my name? We're talking about the Purdy app. And I'm sure you also remember that big series that was on TV8 indeed. And she became for us the most loved character. Now she plays a different role, a more meaningful role indeed, rather than just being malicious as we tend to call it in Barbados. She's informing on the things that need to be changed. And so we're talking about the launch of the Purdy app and what the Purdy app is designed to do. What are some of the safeguards that we need to have in place? How sure are we and confident are we that this can really work and that I can feel free to populate it with my information indeed. And so joining me is the leader of the company behind the development of the Purdy app in Touch Star Group, the CEO, Ramon Dummett. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ramon.
Glad to be here. Good morning, Pearson.
Good to have you. Brought some members of your team with you.
Yes, brought some members of the team here.
Yeah, some geniuses, as a matter of fact, and they're all Barbadian. Would you imagine that? Tiana Ford is the project lead, and she's also the lead software engineer. As young as she is. Kern Hector is the head of AI and platform architecture as well. Kern, good morning to you as well.
Morning,
He's a quiet kind of guy, but he'll talk to me in a moment. And Akira Jemmett, who is the baby of them all. She is a software developer and data compliance lead as well.
Yes.
I'll start with you, Ramon. Talk to me a little bit about the company Touchstar and what is the kind of work that you do?
Yes, well, Touchstar was actually founded just about 3 years ago. So we're a bona fide tech startup. And the journey basically started from, I won't say by chance meeting with the Prime Minister, but I had literally quit my day job. And yeah, because I had these ideas in my head and I had an experience in the job that I used to work on. And I was able to solve a problem for a global company, software company. And that was the motivation. So I said, hey, if I can give them this solution and this is now impacting the globe, I could take a journey and see if I can do this for our own demographic, our own regions. And then I met Prime Minister at one of the BMX events, and she saw like a very humble presentation I had at the point in time, but she saw as you know, she sees the runway. She saw the vision, yes. Right? And that propelled us to where we are today. So we took on two main problems. The first problem that we took on, and shout out to the folks at Export Barbados, CEO Mark Hill, that they had an issue with digitizing their entire portfolio. That time it was me alone, and I said, you know what, I could solve this problem. And then immediately I did a proof of concept, and they liked it, and then I started recruit Barbadians, and I know that there was a gap where persons are going to BCC and UE, and they would find themselves in more routine IT roles because there are not a lot of companies like ours. So that is where it started, and then we took on the sick building issue, And since then, we were able to secure 6 patents in the U.S. for a solution which now is our market entry into South Carolina. So we're actually opening our office in South Carolina in another few weeks. And then, of course, Pearly, that was something that was core and central to our hearts because we're citizens. And let's face it, we know that we have the same potholes. We drive over them. We go to places and we're not satisfied with some of the services. So we were happy to be able to be entrusted with that project from the Prime Minister. And as a company, right, those are the things that even help us. So we're now a team of about 40, right? And all of them look just as young as the folks and myself here.
Yes.
So that's a little background of the company and Pearly.
You see solutions.
Yes.
You know, we dwell in problems. As generally as people, we can identify the problems and we'll live there because we want to annoy someone else. But you step outside of that and you say, hey, did you stop to consider the solution? Let me help you find the solution. That requires a special kind of character to be able to do so. How did you go about, finding that resolve within to see beyond what other people do?
That's an excellent question, Pearson, because I was just telling the team this. First of all, for me, how my brain works is exactly that. I always, even as we go through Pearly, we go and engage with government stakeholders and shout out to all of the permanent secretaries, head of public service, police, MTW. We've been having engagements with them to continue to refine Pearly and also to make sure that they can respond to the complaints, which I know we'll get to. But the point I'm mentioning that is throughout that process, you hear all of the challenges that they have. And the gears to start moving, right? Hey, we could solve this way. But more importantly and most importantly, it requires a resolve and a discipline that, like when Pearly was birthed, I worked a weekend and there was a bank holiday. I worked from a Friday evening to a Monday evening, non-stop. I went home, I had a shower, of course, I told the folks that. And because it requires that level of commitment to produce software like this, especially in a company and a space like us in Barbados, which we're not a quote-unquote Silicon Valley. So we have to pull on the resources that we have. We got to put in the extra time. They put in a lot of hours with me. So that not only from idea or ideation, but to actually execution, because we're nothing without the execution.
You got that right. Tiana.
Hi.
So you were tapped to lead this project. What was your first thought when Mr. Dobbin said, Tiana, your project lead?
Well, they're trusting a 19-year-old with this. But honestly, I'd say grateful, because it's one thing to be able to contribute to a project that's going to help the entirety of a nation. So probably just grateful.
But then you have to look at the scope of the project and realize that this is not just a project you want to have a chat with your friends. This is a national project.
Yeah.
And there are many components because you need to deliver. And you want to deliver in such a way that it wows people, especially the Prime Minister. So in terms of picking the people, working through the scope of the project and ensuring that all of the elements are covered, what was that like for you?
I'd say that, well, one, it wasn't hard. This is the core Pearly team here, and we work together very well. And it's more so been about trust and trusting the vision and trusting the process and the journey that has brought us to where we are right now. So I'd say that it was pretty easy, because the culture is very, it's like a big family. So it's easy to work and actually execute things when you're comfortable with everybody.
When people work as a team.
Yes, please.
And I know that our guy from 8 Hermab is watching, so he's listening carefully about team, how we all work together. But Kern, people say, well, I could have just picked up the phone and called. I could have simply just sent an email and all the rest of it. Why are you developing all of this? But you wanted to develop a system and an app that is able to capture all of that, and it goes to exactly who needs to respond and resolve this matter. What did it take for you to design and develop in this way?
It was a lot at first, because having to train the AI to detect and read the complaints itself and analyze images as well to say, oh, this needs to go to this department. It was a lot of research had to be done and a lot of things in the background.
A lot of research.
Yep.
And to customize it in a way that it understands the Barbadian context, was that also part of it?
That was also part of it, yes. A lot of machine learning was part of that.
We now know because of its release, but we didn't know how long it took to get to this stage. So you can give me a sense of the roadmap all the way through to presentation.
It has been about a year in development. Most of the core features were done in the earlier parts, but we also added on a lot of extra features in terms of the staff side of things.
Right. But it doesn't end there. This is just the start.
This is just the beginning, yes.
And so there's scope, you believe, in expanding it to capture so much more.
Yes.
At the moment, what is it designed to capture?
Well, it is designed to capture, well, let me see, this is the citizen side of things. So, citizens send in a complaint, it resolves, goes sent to the departments and all. But on that side of things, though, the staff also have features where they can then assign it to their certain things. Every department and ministry in Barbados have their own isolated platform. So they're able to go into that. They will see KPIs and reports also generated by AI. And we also have a feature called emergency mode. So emergency mode is, say we have a hurricane now. Instead of purely you typing in reports, it's a simple tap and click and it's directly to the emergency responders. They also have a feature called the Warb, where they will see all the complaints across Barbados on a map for distance.
Whoa. I'm so impressed, Ramon. Impressed. And so, Miss Akira, the youngest, hey, you're one of the software developers as well.
Yes, please.
And so, what is in developing the software, we also have to be mindful of how people feel about putting their data into software.
Yes,
what were some of the considerations you had to take into consideration, bad phrasing, to make sure this works and there's security built in?
Okay, yes. So we know that citizens might not want to submit complaints that, well, they don't want to be known. For example, a police report. So we made it anonymous. So when you submit a report, the police don't know who it is. So it's only if you decide to give them your contact information through our citizen communication, because a department can communicate with a citizen, for example, if they want more information. So they can do that. So it's if they choose to actually give their data about themselves, that's the only way that they will know. Karen has just mentioned emergency mode. Now, with emergency mode, when you submit a complaint, we obviously have to give, well, your number, because in emergency, we want to be able to contact you. So that's the only report where your information will actually be sent, but for our normal reports it is totally anonymous unless you do decide to give your information to the departments.
But also the other concern is, okay, fine, I plug in the information as you're required, but we hear things known, a word called breach of data and all the rest of it, and so the people, there's a little bit of reservation about putting certain data information in as well. What do you say?
Well, if we do have a breach, we have a 72-hour plan to actually deal with the breach.
There's a plan.
Yes, because we, as a company, we are, from the very early stages, we recognize that building a software company in this environment requires trust. Working for a government like Barbados, it requires trust. And even now, we're getting opportunities and calls outside for other governments that are interested in what Pearly, because Pearly is more of a government operating system. Right, so every government has the same issue, right? So from very early, compliance was always a posture that we thought of, and we started to implement. So we are in the process of getting our ISO 9001 certification. We also, in terms of healthcare, of course, folks, if you have an issue with something with health or QEH or so on, you can send a report on when we are following the HIPAA compliance standards for that. So that means that stuff, your information is redacted. We can't see it. The only persons who can see it is the persons authorized in their chain of custody. Likewise, like Akira mentioned, in terms of police reports, we can't see them. Only in the chain of custody, and we following the CGIS, which is a U.S. compliance law enforcement standard. And yeah, so those are some of the compliance standards that we are. We have PCI DSS, which is more for transactions, but there's a lot of overlap in terms of compliance. So we take compliance seriously. It's not an afterthought for us, and that's why it's allowing us to be able to, of course, engage with our government. I want to shout out the folks at MISS, Minister Reid. There's also we have a data commissioner, governor.
Yes.
In MISS, we also have the Chief Information and Security Officer at MISS, and we're working hand in hand with them. So the platform has been internally penetrated tested. We've done penetration testing with them, and now we have a third party, an independent third party that's doing the penetration testing. So we're not cutting any corners, and citizens have a right to ask those questions. And the last but not least, what people can be assured that they can see our faces. We're a resident here, right? So you know who's handling the platform, and we know where the data is being governed.
I am comfortable hearing what your responses are and your team's responses as well. That this, one, can work. Secondly, this is safe to work. Right. The other part about our lived experience is responses.
Good question.
you know, we said it too. It's an app. Boom, click, send, respond in the shortest possible time. Yep. That's what we'd expect. But that's not your control. That's controlled by someone else, somewhere else in departments to be able to do so.
Yes and no. Yes and no, in the sense that the government stakeholders, they have ownership of the response. And what I will say is that from Prime Minister, Cabinet, and the entire team, of course, who have also approved this, what are being put in place is SLAs across government. What are the acceptable times to fix a pothole? Right? What are the acceptable times to respond to a user? Those things, they aren't in as yet, but those are the things that are now being finalized so that when a report is sent, let's say a healthcare issue, let's use that for example. If something that requires an urgent response is 24 hours, and that is not responded by the stakeholder, excuse me, what will happen there is that's going to escalate up to the department as far as possible to make sure that there's a response. But the yes part is that we are working closely with the respective government stakeholders, because we're not just building a software and just saying, hey guys, go and fly the plane, right? We are there training. We've had some really positive sessions where it was just mentioned with the officers here. We had one last week with at Central where we were onboarding police, and I want to shout out them. They were responding while they were being onboarded. They saw their complaints and they took the opportunity to respond to every single one of them. Of course, that's not going to be uniform across government. So we are working with them. We're working with MTW. We had a meeting with MTW on Friday, and we have some follow-up to make sure, because I know that's a big one for everyone.
Yes.
And they're equally motivated. So Pearlie is only going to be only as good as the responses. And government has a part to play, but as a company, we are making sure that we support them to make sure as citizens, we want to see those same buttons fixed.
You heard Ramon talk about SLAs. SLAs are service level agreements. And so everybody has to know clearly what is the expectation one from the other, because we've etched it into an agreement. So my level of service is I shall respond to every email. I shall at least acknowledge every email. I may respond to you within 10 minutes and so forth. All that is written in. So all of the supporting agencies as a part of this Pearlie app, they have levels of agreement that they have to meet. And so that's a guarantee that we can measure, indeed. What I like about the app, as well as I browse it just a little bit, is that it makes it easy for anyone who populates it, because you have those drop down boxes that say, okay, I'm reporting on this or I'm reporting on that. So it gives me the options, so I don't have to try to figure, okay, what to subject this as? Potholes? A hole in the road? What do I subject this as? And so you give us all of those options, so it makes it very, very easy for the user who has downloaded it. Downloading is free. Absolutely free. But how do I go? Do I go to my regular app stores and find the app?
Yes, please. So you can go to the regular app stores, Apple and Android as well, and it should be Pearlie Barbados on both, and it's free to download for everybody.
Pearlie Barbados.
Yes, please.
And it's free to download. And again, if you look at your they like to use my words, look at your screen, look at your screen. I tell everybody this all the time. You go there, this is where you go in the app store. You see Pearlie Barbados. It's by the Touchstar group of companies, and you see install that big green tab right there. You click that, and then your phone or your tablet will do exactly what it needs to do, and you're good to go. The app looks like the one you see on the other side, the right side of your screen. That's what it looks like. So it will come up on your phone with that Pearlie face and the blue background, and you know that's the app. Click it, and you begin to do the work. The other set of photographs you see right there takes you through minute by minute, moment by moment, some of the pages that you'll be engaging in on the app, so you see how the app will actually work. But that is where you go from your Play Store to download, and hey Kyle Batson, And so right there you see the tab that says pothole. That was one of the tabs that you would use. It drops down, you choose pothole, you take your picture, you upload your picture, and you are good to go with your other details as well, and on and on and on. You can actually try this now, everybody. Try this right now. Go onto your app store, download the Pearly app and Pearly Barbados app, and you are good to go. You can begin to engage with the ministries who are tasked to respond to all of this based on the service level agreements in place. Indeed.
Yes.
I think I've said it. You've said it as well. I'm confident now and comfortable now, and I'm sure many as well, with the function and the security of the Pearly app.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
This is one thing I can add quickly, Pearson. We also have the bus feature. I know a lot of persons watching your program, they commute using the buses. So in Pearly right now, you can browse and see exactly where your bus is.
Really?
Yes, so you can do that right now. It's gonna give you walking directions to your bus stop. So everything in relation to commuting via the buses right now is in Pearly. So if you're leaving home now and you're trying to figure out when is the next bus is passing in front of you, and so go and download, because it may be 45 minutes delayed, and you won't be having to wait out there for so long.
And you guys created all of this?
Yes.
Wow. I'm impressed. Well done. Well done. Tiana, you and your team. Well done, Kern. Well done, my good friend Akira and Ramon. Thank you so very much. You and your group, thank you very much for doing this for Barbados. I know you're doing it for the world and the region as well. And I'm pleased. I'm impressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you,
You're very welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Boy, get your Pearly Barbados app right now. Go to your Play Store, download, install, and you are good to go. You can do all of that, track your bus timing, your bus schedule, indeed, because that is a big concern. Not just the potholes, but where the bus is. Really bust the town, as Pearly will tell you, indeed. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
24 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. As a matter of fact, we turn our attention to talking HR with HERMAP, and there are a number of real serious HR issues in the Caribbean workforce. So it feels as if it is a common thing across people like us from this particular region, but is it really? And so we're joined by immediate past president of HERMAP in Nicholas Roberts. We haven't seen his face in a long time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Crop. Over to you, Nicholas. Good morning.
Good morning, Joanna. Just give me the same greeting. You're a makeup artist. You just give me the same exact greeting. It has been a while. Good morning.
It has been a while, but it's good to see you, my brother.
Same here. Same here.
Let's look at some of these real issues in the Caribbean workplace. What's going on?
A lot is going on. I know you were just discussing with the team that developed the Pearly app. So I think it was great in showing in terms of the innovation, in terms of teaming within the Caribbean region and how we're using resources. And I think that is very important because one of the things that we're seeing is brain drain. And we've been discussing this for many years in terms of many of our top talent is leaving Barbados and going internationally looking for opportunities. So I think that was actually a good segue into this segment in terms of how we're using local talent to meet local needs and issues and finding ways to solve them. So that is one of the main things things we're seeing in terms of brain drain. We're also seeing, a lot of mental health challenges and just workplace well-being in terms of how employers are meeting those needs and working with their employees to create an environment that is not only safe when it comes to labor laws, but psychologically and not only physically safe, but all the elements of safety that come with that. So a lot is going on. We haven't had any labor unrest in Barbados for the last few weeks, knock on wood, thank God. But a lot is going on across the world by and large, which obviously impacts Barbados as well. Yeah.
There's worker burnout as well. You talked about the brain drain, there's also worker burnout. And I know sometimes we tend to think that to avoid worker burnout, bring all the systems that will help them be comfortable. And sometimes even in those systems, you create burnout. Because I'll take the app, for instance, the expectation is that you have to respond to certain things now within a particular space of time, length of time, which puts pressure on some people to be able to do so at the same time as well. So how serious is this burnout, not just in Barbados, but in the region generally, as you collaborate with your colleagues?
I always say that people operate within a system. We're people, and we bring what is going on within our lives into the workspace. And we are operating in something called the sandwich generation, whereas there are people that are taking care of their aging or elderly parents, as well as taking care of raising children, and you have then persons in between that impacts the burnout. You're so right in terms of now we're living in a digital age. We're living in the age of AI and robotics, etc. We've talked about that ad nauseum, and all of that is impacting how people bring themselves to the work setting and the workspace. And we then, within the organizations, when it comes to HR leadership, the organization by and large have to create innovative ways to meet that burnout and meet those issues that people are solving. Many times before, we've talked about using employee assistance programs in terms of having psychologists or psychiatrists on hand to deal with those problems, because whilst we in HR are there to assist the employees and support the business by and large, we are not trained practitioners in terms of helping people when it really comes to dealing with those mental health challenges. So a way of saying there are multifaceted ways of dealing with burnout. Like I said, using an EAP program is one, putting systems and processes in place to help in terms of the workflow and the work setting, using the technology by and large at play, not to displace workers, but to work with people to make the work easier for them in terms of their day-to-day tasks.
A lot of what we do is led by our culture, the practice, the way we do things. And so, but at the same time, given how the world is moving and the fact that we're now more a part of the global space, we're not just isolated to ourselves alone. Let's look at that within the context of how we communicate, how we engage with people, how do we treat our customers, how do we work with our colleagues, internal and external customers, so to speak.
Yeah, so I think customer service is a very big thing that needs focus within Barbados. Many years ago, we had a NICE program, a NICE initiative. I harken back to about a year and a half ago. I went to Canada, and it was heartwarming to see every single organization, whether it be a cafe, a restaurant, whatever I went into, customer service was top of mind, and you could tell that people were trained well and they greeted you well, even if it is that they were not having a good morning, you didn't know, and it was based on how they greeted you when you walked in to that organization or into that setting. And I think that is where we need to get to within Barbados. And I always, when I have conversations on a day-to-day basis with my friends and my colleagues, and I always say the way that people respond to you is a reflection of what they're going through, both within their personal lives and within the organization. And I think people are dealing with a lot, not making excuses for it, but that is why we see the level or lack thereof of customer service that sometimes we get within Barbados. But we now have to look and see how it is that we can meet those needs and those challenges in terms of improving that in Barbados, because we're a service industry. Tourism is our biggest product, and we always talk about we want to bring people to the island and want them to come back, but we also need to think about how we treat others when it is that we do business across the island. So definitely looking at ways to develop our customer service brand. How do we develop people when it comes to customer service and meeting the needs of those people that they're serving within the various organizations across the length and breadth of Barbados.
Does that put pressure on HR though? Because
Definitely.
Real pressure.
Definitely.
Because you're looking for the right candidate to fit.
Correct. Correct. And sometimes people interview very well, they say the right things, and then when they come, and obviously you do the psychometric testing, you do background checks and that type of stuff, but the rubber really hits the road when people come into your organization and they have to do the work in terms of, like I said, it isn't only customer service, but you know, the rubber hits the road when they get into your organization, and you have to see how it is that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing or not. And as you said, the onus usually is on HR to train, develop, you know, coach, which also is a leadership matter. But yes, it really falters on HR in terms of how it is that we go about developing those people to meet the needs of the organization and by and large Barbados.
And I think we have to change the mindset of the others in the C-suite as well to see, you know, what is the company we're designing here? Is this a company that's going to remain local, or is this a company that has the potential to go broader than that? And then who are the people we need to help us to drive this particular culture going forward? Correct. Because within the people realm, there's this thing known as gossip. You know, that can be a killer in every organization. The people like to talk. They become familiarity breeds contempt. Let's use that one blanket phrase. And so that in itself can also affect the culture within HR and the culture within the practice in the business as well. Let's talk about the loss that can come if we don't stamp that part of it out.
So I think by and large you have to determine, as you so rightly said, what the culture of your organization is. I've said it many times before, workplace culture is not throwing pizza parties or whatever the case may be. Culture is when you walk into an organization, I as a customer, how do I feel when I walk into your establishment? And then I as a HR practitioner, or even just I as an employee, when I get up on a morning, how do I feel about going into my workplace? And that speaks to the culture of the workplace. Am I going into some place where, yes, you know, people talk, that is normal, especially in Barbados, we like to gossip, fair. But how is that managed within the workplace? And when I go into the workplace, how do I feel about my co-workers? I may not necessarily like my co-workers, but I do know that if I do something wrong or someone wrongs me, will they be reprimanded and reprimanded in the right way? So, you know, stamping out those workplace practices or negative workplace practices all feeds into the culture of the organization. And I always say, people always think that HR are the culture police. You know, we're the ones that are responsible for the culture. We're responsible for setting up the framework and assisting leadership in developing the culture of the organization. But the culture of the organization comes down to leadership. How is that you want your organization to flow? What are the norms? What are the practices when it comes to customer service, when it comes to just doing business on a day-to-day basis? All of that feeds into the culture of the organization.
I want to look at this other thing, this phenomenon now, contracts. There's no longer any long-term contract, as we know, it's full-time job. And how much of that is an issue within Barbados and the region?
So we live in an age of the gig economy. Once upon a time, many ages ago, it was a case where someone would come in, you would call it a cradle to grave job. Someone would leave university or leave school and work a job for 30, 40 years. They're not saying that anymore. If it is that you can keep a resource for 2 or 3 years, you can keep them for a long time. But people are even working, you know, many jobs in terms of they're working many part-time jobs to supplement their income. So then that determines in terms of how contracts are phrased or how they're written. So there's something called a contract of service or a contract for service, and there's a differentiation between when someone is an employee and when they're a contractor. So that may be a segment for another time, but all of those things feed into how contracts are written, the rights of employees, the rights of employers. All of that is very, very important when it comes to contracting.
With rights come responsibilities as well, and so we want you to, Nicholas, we only really touched the surface. There's so many things that are happening and changing in the workplace and the workforce in the Caribbean. It's just shifting ground right now, and so while we try to get settled, we can't get settled because things are always changing indeed. And so I want to thank you as always for coming and sharing your experience. Nicholas Roberts, who is the immediate past president of HRMAB, hrmab.org.bb. That's where you go and you become a member. Thank you, as always. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8 every
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yo, DJ Boogie Runs.
Hyper sounds. Boom music. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the baddest of them all? Hyper sounds for the gal and them. Show me the baddest gal in the room. Baddest by far. She stand out when she bubble it and she bend over. Look the baddest gal in the room. Baddest by far. She right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. You know who you are. Gal and none of them not better than.
Hyper Sounds. He's decided to stop over for crop over with us right here on Morning Barbados. You know, there's so many ways I could describe you, Hyper Sounds. You know, good morning, first of all.
Good morning, good morning.
I think we now know you by your voice.
Mm-hmm.
We now know you by your music. Mm-hmm. And we now also know you by your writing. Yeah. These are three ways we can define that is Hyper Sounds without a doubt.
Correct,
There's nobody else who sounds like you.
I will what not.
No, seriously, because they're in this space in which we live and work, there are many people who try to copy. But you have now been able to find your space and etch your own sound and look as well. Talk to me about that and your decision to be so determined to do so.
The decision is basically becoming a brand and having a career over a song and something that can represent anything, anywhere at the level that I wanted to or a company wanted to. Yeah.
Listen, last year you were in Trinidad and Tobago. For Carnival, the Islam series, because I watched it too, and I was like hype is there, and you hyped the crowd as well. Mm-hmm. So there are opportunities that happen for you. You were just recently in St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands. Yeah, we've been following you, and so you've been everywhere. You're hardly home.
Yeah.
Does this surprise you, or was deliberate?
Just working hard and believing in what I do, and like I said, it'd be something I'd be wanting for my entire life, and also be able to reach a stage that not only I can be successful, but for me being successful means that people could see what I'm doing and inspire about it and just go on about it and go on. Touring is something that never stopped, proud to say. Celebrating 20 years this year in music. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks a lot. And I've been 15 years plus on the road every year. Actually still on tour, so we get to pop in a little bit. This weekend, head over to New York. Then we fly back into Barbados. So just flying the flag and just doing what I love.
You're doing it well indeed. Yeah. So much so, and I'm glad about the other thing about you have not changed is that you always take time to do crop over. You take time to write and release music for crop over. Yeah. Talk to me about this year and what you put up there already for this year.
This year we have some releases that's doing very well. We have Baddest by Far,
which you just shared.
Yeah, we have Too Like, and then we have a song with Moldy Chief, Verify Where We From. Actually, we're reserved in the party market, but you know. And then there's Katisha with Myanmar's.
I want to play the one with you on Mole.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, because I like it bad. And those in reserve, I was like, how did that not make it into the final? So folks, if you've never heard Verified by Mole and Hyper Sounds, take a listen, take a look.
Hyper Sounds! Daddy Lord! Manda my dog! I know a place, we just misbehave. Some man go in jail, but we go crop over. Benjamin just prevail, you're whining in my face. This week I'll be placed, we can't miss the bacchanal. When them not getting on, I like it when them jam on me. Right now I'm holding on, I can't just let she damage me. No matter what she do, I feel like I in ecstasy. Lord, you back it up on me. You got the back of my
Sweet for this. It's called Verified. As you just saw, you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so, that was one of your productions again?
Yeah, a Hypersongs production, that infectious beat, yeah.
I felt it. Immediately I felt it. Immediately I got it. Immediately I wanted to get up and dance to it. Indeed. But again, how did it not make it in? But nonetheless,
I mean, 20 years after, we still asking that question about Hypersongs. That becomes the norm right now. But you know, for me, I have always placed myself, and I think that's what made me mold me into the person, the brand that y'all see today. But I think me getting in competition through the years is something I love. I still want to win. I still want to do the things. But it forced me to go outside of what's happening and focus on having a career over a song. Yeah.
Do you strategic? Is this all that you do? First of all, perform.
Yes.
Boy, you've made a living out of this. This is good.
Yeah.
So it requires you, therefore, to stop and pause at moments to think about what is my next strategy. What's my next project? You've made a business out of this.
Yeah.
How easy or difficult was that for you to design your life in this way?
Very difficult because with life is changes. A lot changes. And balancing family, still friends. Still being a human being, a person, you still got to do things. But it's like you go after whatever you want. If you want that degree, you got to study. And if I want this career and I want this to be something that could keep going like 20 years and still going, you got to keep, doing the works. Spend a lot of time in learning. Learning is something that I really high on, and being around mentors like Blood, Edwin, Allison, hearing these guys talk about the industry and see how I can really mold it into me, something that could fit me and take on. So it's a learning process still for me still.
20 years you've been in the industry, in the business of singing and putting out music and being a part of the festival indeed. And so that's not 2 days. What's the biggest lesson you've learned over those 20 years?
I learned a lot of lessons. The biggest lesson I would say is being consistent is more than just seeing it. It's a full body of work. How you carry yourself, how you speak, how you show up, the type of work you put out, the energy that you give people. So much things, man. There's so much things,
but you learn it.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Still learning, but you learn it. And so, but if you look at your catalog of music over those 20 years, there's such variety. Such variety. Fessa. I like that.
I know Fessa is your tune.
Yeah, you know me of that. And so, but that's a conscious effort again to just not do or be edged into one category. You explore so many different themes and so many different rhythms as it goes. And in that exploration, do you have a favorite rhythm that you like to sing on?
A favorite rhythm or a favorite song?
No, it's not yet the song yet.
Oh, a favorite rhythm.
The pace of Fessa is different from the pace of that one, Verified.
So Fessa and those are 110. That's the slower bounce. My zone where I could just let loose is the 124. It's where you get like the dip, the roll it all night, the dirty, and those kind of songs. I tend to more feel it there. On the slower tempo, I express myself by saying what I want to say, and so each tempo give me a different vibe.
Yeah. You remember the year of Sugar Rush?
Yeah.
That was a big year. You went into it felt like every competition you were a part of as well. And you got such recognition. It was outstanding indeed. And so I know sometimes a lot of people tend to think, I want to have another one of those kinds of years. So therefore, I'm not thinking of trying anything new. I want to go and use that template to do the same thing this time around. But that's not you.
No, I would say I don't say I want another song or like you say I don't want to have another year like that. I want a better year because if I was asking for another year like Sugar Rush, I would not be able to be touring in the European market because I would have been stuck where Sugar Rush took me. I've been to Switzerland, Portugal, and just touring the place. But for Bali Carnival, so what I say is I want the feeling the drive that I had making these songs, showing up with these songs, I still try to keep the vibe.
How do people find you? I mean, there you are performing everywhere. You're in St. Thomas, you're in Portugal, Sweden, everywhere. How do people find you?
For bookings, there's Hypersounds Music bookings, and it's just it has come a place now where the networking, the work that have been put in throughout the years, like, is a go-to. Hypersounds is not only booked for stage shows. We do businesses overseas that's opening. We go just to perform for those things, weddings. Just like 2 weeks ago, we did a prom in New York. Kids 18 years old, you know, so the brand has reached that far, and the networking, putting in the work and leaving a trail is what keeps people coming back all the time.
What does crop over mean to you?
Crop over is something that you can never find nowhere else. We either got enough carnivals, but it's a particular vibe. We culture is different, and is one of the things that when people can't get what we do, they try to pick apart. But crop over is a wonderful feeling. It's something that I would like to be a part of, and my kids are part of, my family are part of, just to keep that vibe going, bringing that love together and enjoying yourself. You know how crop over does be.
Of course. And after all, it's the sweetest summer festival.
It's sweetest.
And while sometimes you can't explain it, you taste it and you love it in the meal. You're not interested in the ingredients. You just want to be a part of it. And that's the whole pleasure of crop over. Hypersounds, I really want to wish you well. All continued success in your career, in your work, in your business, in your strategy, in your life, in everything, because you're one of the good ones. And I'm saying that because I'm not going to make your head swell and say you're one of the great ones yet, but you're one of the good ones, and I really want you to stay focused on that as well for us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I just want to say, I know that I have the time to say a big thank you to the Mornin Barbados family, to you guys that here, because this is where it all started. Me coming not too sure on things, and the crew, the staff, everybody always welcome me, always. So to the people behind the cameras, to you out front here, the people behind the boards coming from Hypersounds and the entire team, thank you for every single opportunity.
You're very welcome. It is our pleasure, but we thank you too. Because had it not been for you, we would not have you here. So thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Hypersounds indeed with us here. Stopover for crop over right here on Mornin Barbados. And it's at that point in time we stop. Pearson, we've come to an end. And so my little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a terrific today. Be the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
She put her hand on her knees and push it back, cause that's how she does. The way she whine and fling it back, that's where she's a whining pro. No matter where she go, no matter where she be, I'll never see a girl like she. She do like bendo in her favorite position. She behavior bad. Do like bendo in her favorite position. She behavior bad. Watch how she tick and 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 she talk. How she bend like that. When she bend, I shot back. Put her hand on her knees and bend with her ease, cause she now come to stand up.